Maria pulls her thin blanket tighter, shivering as the night air seeps through every thread. The city's famous chill, rolling in from the bay, is relentless. She tries to curl into herself, making her body as small as possible, hoping to trap a little warmth. The sidewalk beneath her is unforgiving, its coldness rising up through her bones. The San Francisco fog, thick and damp, wraps around her like a second skin, chilling her to the bone. Each breath she takes is heavy with moisture, and the distant sound of foghorns reminds her that the world keeps moving, even as she lies still and exposed. It's 2 a.m., and the concrete is her only bed. The city is quiet, save for the occasional rumble of a passing car or the echo of footsteps from someone else searching for shelter. The streetlights cast long shadows, making the world feel even lonelier. She once tried a shelter, hoping for a way out, but found only strict rules and suspicion. The promise of safety was quickly replaced by the reality of curfews, crowded rooms, and the constant fear of losing what little she had. Whispers of stolen donations and lost housing applications haunted her nights there. Every conversation seemed tinged with desperation, and trust was a rare commodity. The sense of community she longed for was replaced by anxiety and uncertainty. The shelter broke her spirit faster than the streets ever could. The rules felt suffocating, and the lack of privacy made her feel invisible, just another number in a system that didn't see her. Out here, at least, she controls her small patch of sidewalk until the morning sweep. Each dawn brings the threat of city workers clearing the streets, forcing her to gather her belongings and move on, never truly settling, always on edge. She wonders about the billions spent to solve homelessness. None of it seems to reach her. The city skyline glitters with wealth and opportunity, but down here, hope feels like a distant luxury. The system meant to help feels like a trap, not a lifeline. Endless paperwork, long waits, and confusing requirements make it nearly impossible to get ahead. Each rejection letter chips away at her resolve. Tonight, like so many before, she dreams of a key, a warm bed, and dignity. She imagines the simple comfort of a door that locks, a pillow beneath her head, and the peace of knowing she belongs somewhere. But reality is the hard ground, and the question that haunts thousands. If help exists, why can't they feel it? She's not alone in her struggle. Every face she sees on the street carries a similar story of hope deferred and promises broken. The gap between City Hall promises and street reality is a chasm of broken trust. As politicians debate solutions and agencies announce new programs, Maria and countless others wait in the cold, wondering if anyone will ever truly listen, or if the city's compassion will remain just out of reach. The Providence Foundation of San Francisco was supposed to help the city's most vulnerable. Instead, it submitted fake invoices, billing the city for services never provided. Leadership hired family members, violating rules and eroding public trust. The city suspended funding and forced a reckoning. The foundation paid $1 million settlement and replaced its leadership. New leaders promised transparency, but the damage was done. For people like Maria, the scandal confirmed their worst fears. The system meant to help can be hijacked for personal gain. The result, more empty promises, fewer real solutions. San Francisco's problems are part of a statewide crisis. Across California, shelters meant as safe havens are plagued by theft, harassment, and violence. Overcrowding, poor sanitation, and strict rules drive many back to the streets. Chronic underfunding and high staff turnover make real help impossible. Most who enter shelters never find permanent housing. They're trapped in a cycle. The system consumes public money but leaves people in perpetual crisis. For most, a shelter stay is just a pause in relentless instability. The promise of a way out is rarely fulfilled. In Los Angeles, public frustration with the homeless system has reached a breaking point. An audit exposed the LA Homeless Services Authority's mismanagement, late payments, poor oversight, and wasted funds. Billions spent, yet homelessness has surged by 37% since 2017. Calls to dismantle LAHSA and put services under county control signal a total loss of faith. Agency leaders admit failures, but reforms come too late for many. The debate now: can the old system be fixed, or is a total overhaul needed? With trust eroded, leaders demand a new approach that delivers real results. The failures and fraud in our homelessness response aren't just abstract policy problems, they devastate real lives every single day in ways that are both visible and heartbreakingly invisible. For every dollar misspent or mismanaged, someone like Maria is left to suffer on the street, exposed to the elements, stripped of safety and dignity. Each wasted resource means another night without shelter, another meal missed, another opportunity lost. Shelters, often seen as a solution, can sometimes compound trauma. Overcrowded and underfunded, they enforce harsh rules that leave little room for dignity or personal agency. The constant noise, lack of privacy, and rigid schedules can make it nearly impossible for people to heal or rebuild their lives. Expulsions for minor infractions and strict curfews disconnect people from the very help they need, trapping them in a downward spiral of instability and despair. Many are forced back onto the streets feeling more hopeless than before. The system's focus on temporary shelters perpetuates a cycle of dependency and despair, offering only short-term fixes instead of real, lasting solutions. People move from shelter to shelter, never finding a true sense of home or belonging. Even the best-run shelters are not homes. They're a bandage on a wound that needs real healing. They provide a roof, but not the stability, support, or hope that people need to rebuild their lives. The system's failures waste human potential and extinguish hope. Every person left behind is a story of dreams deferred, talents unused, and futures stolen by neglect. The cost is measured in quiet despair, in mothers unable to shelter their children, in veterans with nowhere to heal from their wounds, in families torn apart by the stress of survival. These are the faces of a broken promise. Young people aging out of foster care find themselves with no safety net, forced to navigate adulthood alone, often ending up on the streets before they've even had a chance to begin. These aren't just numbers or statistics. They're lives lost in the shadow of broken promises, each one a reminder of the urgent need for change. The true price of a system that fails isn't measured in dollars, but in the human toll, the dreams extinguished, the families broken, and the hope that slips away with every passing day. California's ongoing struggle with homelessness has ignited a passionate debate. Should the focus be on building more shelters, or is it time to prioritize permanent homes for those in need? This question lies at the heart of the state's response to a crisis that affects tens of thousands every night. For years, the prevailing answer was to create more shelters, temporary spaces meant to get people off the streets quickly. These shelters were seen as immediate solutions, offering a roof and a meal, but often little else. They addressed the most visible aspects of homelessness, but not the root causes. However, data reveals a troubling reality. Only a small fraction of people ever transition from shelters into stable, permanent housing. Many find themselves stuck in a cycle, moving from one temporary bed to another, with no clear path forward. Critics argue that shelters, while well-intentioned, can end up institutionalizing homelessness. Instead of empowering people, they may foster dependency and strip away dignity, making it harder for individuals to regain independence. The alternative approach, known as housing first, flips the script. It prioritizes moving people directly into permanent homes, providing stability first, and then offering support for mental health, employment, or addiction as needed. This model treats housing as the foundation for rebuilding lives. Rent subsidies, direct financial assistance, and supportive services can prevent homelessness before it starts, helping people stay in their homes during tough times. These interventions are proven to be more effective and humane. In this vision, housing is recognized as a basic human right, not something to be earned or withheld. Communities rally for policies that protect tenants and expand affordable options. Now policymakers stand at a crossroads. Should they continue pouring resources into shelters that offer only temporary relief, or invest in lasting solutions that address the root of the problem? The choice is stark. Do we keep managing the symptoms of homelessness, or do we finally commit to curing the disease by providing real homes and real hope? With the crisis growing and lives on the line, the urgency for bold, transformative change has never been greater. The future of California's most vulnerable depends on the path chosen today. California's scandals have made one thing clear: the future must be built on transparency and accountability. Fraud and mismanagement are alarms that the system is broken. Public trust can only be rebuilt with honesty and clear results. Reforms in LA and San Francisco aim to create real oversight and measurable outcomes. Every organization must be held to higher standards, regular audits, public data, and consequences for failure. The era of good intentions without results is over. Maria, and thousands like her, deserve a system that works. Real progress depends on embracing change and demanding the truth.